It's a Tuesday, which means today is an update day, and though it may not top last week's major release of Warzone, which could have been a huge hit to your drives or inundated you with content, it's an update day no less, and there's still a handful of things of value worth mentioning. So today, as always, we'll break down everything that changed here for you so that you're up to speed when jumping into either the full game of Modern Warfare or Warzone alone. That said, as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. What's one thing you want to see added to Modern Warfare if it wasn't with this update? Let me know in the comments, but as well, if you are new to the channel, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare and all things Warzone, especially if you're a part of that nearly 64% of viewers who are not, so you don't miss out on any of the content. I'm loving Warzone and having a blast with it, so it'll still be here all the same, but the option is there. That said, let's jump into the update. Let's start out with some of the big stuff here. I want to personally talk about Warzone because there's a handful of changes here that are quite substantial and stuff that you'll want to jump into and may change how you approach the game a little bit with this. But for Warzone, first things first, the one big thing you'll notice is that Warzone Solo Battle Royale is now available. It was trios only as of yesterday and the prior week, but now you have the option permanently to jump in a solo queue if you don't want to play with random fill squads or with nobody going up against teams of 3. You can now simply just go up against other solos. Now, the nice part about this is the fact that, of course, you have your own free reign on however you want to play. You're not dependent on anybody else, but it does change the meta a little bit here with this. Firstly, you have to be conscious that anytime you go down, that's it. You're wiped, you're done. You get sent to the gulag, and if you've already gone there, if you don't have a self-revive, then you get sent back to the main menu. But that also changes the meta in terms of how you want to approach the game as is. Of course, you do still have that safety mechanism of the gulag where it's not quite over until you lose that, but if you want to stay as safe as possible, it really makes this game quite expensive in-game. Previously, you had to maybe buy armor plates. Maybe you could pull together in trios to get $6,000 for a loadout drop. But this makes it a lot more pricier because you're looking at around $15,000 in in-game currency. And you don't often come across that just by simply looting unless you really hardcore loot and stay looting for quite some time. But to make sure that you're looted as best you can be, you're going to want to grab a loadout drop. That's $6,000. You're going to want to grab a self-revive kit, which is $4,500. You're going to want to grab a UAV. That's another $4,000. And maybe you want some armor plates on top of that if you don't find 5 as is. So it starts to get really pricey, so cash becomes a high priority item. But again, a lot of times you might just gain a lot of that by taking engagements. So it may shift your approach to how you play this game, but it's definitely different than that of what is trios. Is it different in a bad way? I certainly don't think so. I had a blast with my games the year that I played with it. First game on, gotta flex it a bit. First game on, first win. I'm liking the start here to solos. It is something that, again, though, echoing it, permanent. It's not going away, or at least has no intention to go away. So this will be there for as long as you guys want to play it, which is beautiful. Now, talking a little bit about some other Warzone changes, we can refer to some patch notes, which I can leave down there in the description below if you guys want to check out the full patch notes. But the big thing for me is the fact that now kills are credited to the player who downed the enemy, not who finishes it off or cleans it up. So there is no more thirsting kills. If you down an enemy, you don't have to worry, your team can finish them off, and so therefore you get the credit for the kill, but you also take that threat out where they could be scouting for somebody, they could have self-revive, whatever the case may be, and that is a beautiful change here, and I'm incredibly happy with that one. On the side of technical fixes for Warzone, before we jump into some MP content and some MP talk, there are a couple of bugs fixed here within this update, that being firstly a rare bug where players would have increased movement speed when coming back to the gulag. That made for some really funny clips if you saw that on Twitter, on Reddit, maybe even here on YouTube, wherever it may be, but it wasn't something that was supposed to happen and also wasn't optimal to play against. It also fixed an exploit where players could shoot while downed. It fixed the bug where players were unable to deposit cash using the balloons in the settings with contextual tap in Plunder, which is something we talked about, and it's great to see that fixed out once again. And also fixed the bug where players were able to get into a glitch spot in Hospital. So those are your changes for Warzone. That's the new stuff here, and I'm excited to jump back into it. But jumping over to some MP discussion here at this, let's talk about the playlists that were changed here. We didn't get anything major like a new weapon like last week. We didn't get any new map, which is unfortunate, but it is something that if you're taking a look at the marketing and release windows, 2 weeks is again that kind of standard that we've seen here. So we're in that off week per se, but we ended up getting the playlist of Cranked, Kill Confirmed, Mercenary Mosh Pit, Doorbuster 24/7, and a little bit of an adjustment to Gunfight. Now, Doorbuster is some Superstore 24/7 action, but it's 10v10, so it's got a little bit of a twist there with it. It adds that player count up just a little bit, so maybe a little bit more mayhem. I I haven't played Superstore all that much. The couple of times that I have, it seems like it can be chaotic, and that's from just playing like Search and Destroy on it, which isn't really even your highest action-paced gameplay on offer. So take advantage of that, jump in, play around with that if you're interested. Cranked Confirmed is cranked, but with kill confirmed rules. So previously you had, of course, just team deathmatch, and every 30 seconds you'd string together hopefully a kill so that you didn't blow up, because if you reach that 30-second timer without getting another kill, your streak would end and you'd just die and have to start all over. But this is now then cranked with kill confirmed, so your objective is slightly different. It's to confirm tags rather than just confirm kills, so that is something available as well. Mercenary Mosh Pit is a bunch of objective modes with no parties allowed. This isn't something that's brand new to Call of Duty, that's been around in the past, and it'll be nice for solo players. I know that a lot of the times you'll end up getting matched up with parties if you're going solo, and that's one of the reasons why in this game in particular I'm not really too fond of playing solo. So to be able to see some mercenary mosh pits and going up against all other solo players, it'll be a nice little change of pace for those players. Then finally, Gunfight is St. Patrick's Day themed, which it really isn't all that much changed. It just throws on a green camo, a weapon charm, and a green sticker onto your weapon. It doesn't change what I've seen, at least so far, anything thematically from a map standpoint or anything like that. We don't have anything thrown in the mix that is like Winter Docks, but for St. Patrick's Day, like how Downpour was changed in Modern Warfare Remastered. None of that stuff. It's just, again, that small little change. So is it worth it to you? Of course, that's entirely up to you. I don't think it's really much to brand as a St. Patrick's Day themed gunfight, but that's the updates though for the MP side and the playlists and content added there with that. On the store side of things, as always, we get an update here every single Tuesday for this. The items added in with this week are the Clover and Out, Tracer Pack Green, and Sakura Edition bundles in the featured tab of the shop. Of course, you may have some stuff in your dailies that are brand new, from the blueprints to the operators, but that's all on an individual level. For the three bundles though, let's talk firstly about the seasonal, the festive, the St. Patrick's Day bundles here at this. Firstly, we end up seeing the Clover and Out bundle, which for 1100 COD points, you can get the Eye Pinch Back Otter skin, the Wish Me Luck Mark II variant, the Top of the Morning 357 variant, the Stout Weapon Charm, the Pot of Gold Weapon Charm, and the Shamrock and Roll sticker. Now, as much as I do love the look of that 357 and even partially that Mark II a little bit, I'm not really going to be using these all that much. I don't play around with those now that I've finished off my challenges for them, so I might pass on this and the other weapons we'll talk about here. But if you guys want to grab them, of course, it's your money. You do with it what you will. Next, we have the Tracer Pack Green for 1600 COD points with the Snapdragon Ram 7 variant, the Gangrene 50 GS or Desert Eagle variant, the Leprechaun Weapon Charm, and the Uplinked Calling Card. This one's a little bit more enticing to me because I do use both of those weapons, but I might still pass on that. But the final bundle added into the shop today is that of the Sakura Edition, which I think is the most tempting of the three here with this, because I don't know why, man. I love the floral pattern on these weapons. But for 1800 COD points, you can get the Striking Tiger Kilo 141 variant, the Sleeping Dragon Origin 12, the Store of Night Weapon Charm, the Unspoken Oath Melee, the Element of Surprise Calling Card, and the Golden Silence sticker. Now, I won't use the Origin 12 all that much, but dude, that Kilo, I love the look of that. I probably won't buy it. It is hard to resist, but dang, I think that one looks good. Now, that's it really for the updates and everything that was added in from Warzone to multiplayer to the shop, and that really rounds out the changes. Though currently one other change that was made to the shop, or battle pass, I guess you can say, because it's not really a part of the shop, is the fact that battle pass tiers are right now discounted to 100 COD points per tier as opposed to the normal 150. I know that's not something that I really care about. I actually finished my battle pass, a decent chunk actually as of recently with Warzone, so it's a great way to grind that out. But if you are interested, it is available for the next 7 days until next Tuesday, the 24th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But again, that's just there. But one other thing that I do want to say, I kind of feel like this is a missed opportunity of sorts, because it is St. Patrick's Day. If you remember back the last couple of years, we've had some sort of St. Patrick's Day event, mainly being branded the past couple of years as Shamrock and Off for uniform recognition, but we don't have anything introduced like that. We don't have a free-to-play map that is something that, like Modern Warfare Remastered, we saw a map that was rebranded in Shamrock style for St. Patrick's Day, like World War II, where we had an entire headquarters change in multiple modes for St. Patrick's Day, and even slightly in the case of Black Ops 4 with the smaller event in the Contraband stream. We didn't have anything comparable to that this year, though, with Modern Warfare. Of course, it is just after the launch of Warzone, so that could be a major factor as to why, but I'm a little surprised that we didn't see anything really outside of these buyable bundles. I certainly would have taken a Hackney yard with a bunch of decorations around it, but I guess it is what it is, and that is the update here with Modern Warfare and Warzone today. So that said, let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Is there anything in particular you guys really enjoyed here out of this? I know that I'm a fan of solos. I'm a fan of the kill credit now being changed in Warzone. I'm loving BR, dude, so I'm ready to jump back into that and get grinding here. So let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But said, out of the way, thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.